Hello, I'm welcoming you to another class with Mathmasoft. Today, our topic is fraction. And fraction is very, very important in mathematics. The knowledge of fraction forms some foundations for some advanced calculations in mathematics. And that is why it's very important for students to be well grounded when it comes to the knowledge of fraction. So today, let's start by looking at how a fraction looks like. Fraction is usually written, okay, in this form, commonly written in this form, especially when you see your answer being left in fraction, it is possible that you see it in this form. I'm not talking about how big the numbers are, but we always have what? A number up with the division line, and then we have another number below. The number that is at the top is called the numerator, while the number that is at the bottom is called denominator. So we have numerator, and then we have denominator, and then this is the division line. That is usually how you will see your fraction being written. And we have types of fraction. Again, it's very important that you get yourself familiarized with types of fraction. We have what we call proper fraction. From the word proper, when you say something is proper, it means that what? It is actually ideal. It is okay. And that's why when I was mentioning, I said that what? When you are leaving your answer in fractional form, usually you may see your answer being written in this word form. Now, if you look at the examples that I put here under the proper fraction, the first one, 2/5, the second one, 5/7, and the third one, 3/4. Now, what you may notice is that you will see that all the numerators, when I say numerator, I mean the number that is what? On top. All the numerators here, they are lesser than their denominator. For example, 2 is the numerator here, 5 is the denominator, and 2 is less than 5, 5 is less than 7, 3 is less than 4. And that is why we call it proper fraction, because it is proper for something heavier to carry something smaller, for something bigger to carry something smaller, for something bigger to carry something smaller. That is proper. It is proper for me to put this marker on my head because I can support the weight of this marker, but it is improper for you to put this marker under my feet so that it may support my weight. So it is proper for 2 to sit on 5, for 5 to sit on 7, for 3 to sit on 4, rather than you to do it otherwise. So you can just use that imagination to understand when we say proper fraction. At least when you see proper fractional, you just look at it. Is it proper for 2 to sit on top of 5? Yes. Is it proper for 5 to sit on top of 7? Yes. Is it proper for 3 to sit on top of 4? That is proper. And that's what we call it a proper fraction. Why? Because numerator is usually what? Less than the denominator. In the second type, we have what we call improper fraction. It is improper. The opposite of the word proper is improper. And when we say something is improper, it means that it is not ideal. It does not make sense. And when you look at it, I have example here. I don't want to go too far. I just flip this other way around. 5/2, 7/5, 4/3. Now, here we say it is proper for 2 to sit on top 5. But here, 5 is sitting on top of 2. Is that proper? This 5 will be heavier for this 2 to carry. This 7 will be heavier for this 5 to carry. And this 4 will be heavier for this 3 to carry. So it is improper for bigger number to sit on top of what? A smaller number. And that's why we call this one improper fraction, because numerator is bigger than denominator. Can you make do with that imagination and that illustration? I hope it helps. Now let's move to the third one. We call that mixed fraction. Okay, some people refer to it as mixed number, but it is better we refer to it as mixed fraction because we are talking about fraction here. So why do we call it mixed? When you say something is mixed, it means that what? It is not purely fraction. It is not purely that original thing. It has been mixed with another thing. And that's why you see that what? Though we have 1 over 2, which is a fraction, but it is mixed with an whole number, which is 2 here. 2 over 5, which is a fraction, is mixed with an whole number, which is 1. And 1 over 3, which is a fraction, is mixed with an whole number, which is 1. That's why when we pronounce it, we say 2 whole number, 1 over 2. 1 whole number, 1 whole number, 2 over 5, 1 whole number, 1 over 3. So that is all about types of fraction. Now, to begin with, we need to learn how to convert. The only thing you don't need to tamper here is that when you get your answer, or when you have proper fraction will always remain proper fraction, except if you want to change it to what? Decimal number. But when you have improper fraction, it is possible you change improper fraction to mixed fraction, or it's also possible you change mixed fraction to improper fraction. And that is what we want to play with here now. Okay, let's look at the first category. Let's say we want to change improper fraction to mixed fraction. In other words, we want to change from 2 to 3, improper fraction to mixed fraction. I don't want to get you confused. I'm just using the same numbers all through, just the numbers we have used here. So these are the improper, okay, that I have here: 5 over 2, 7 over 5, 4 over 3. Now, how do I change this to mixed fraction? Then I have to look for how many times will I get 2 in 5. I will get 2 twice. That's 2 whole number. Okay, you write it so big. 2 whole number. What is the remainder? The remainder will be what? 1. So I will put that remainder over my denominator, which is 2. So if I am to change 5 over 2, which is an improper fraction, to mixed fraction, I will get 2 whole number, 1 over 2. Also the same thing here. How many 5 will you get in 7? Or how many times will 5 go in 7? And that will be 1. What will remain? It will remain 2. Then I'll put that 2 on top of this denominator, which is 2 over 5. How many times will 3 go in 4? That will be what? 1. Then I'll say what will remain? 1. I'll put that 1 over this denominator. Okay? And then the same thing here, mixed fraction to improper fraction. Now I want to swap it back now. I want to change from mixed to what? Improper fraction. How do I do that? Okay, now I am having the mixed. I want to change it to improper. So I will go the other way. Don't forget here that what? When I get, how many times will 2 get in 5? Will 2 go in 5 rather? I have 2, and the remainder is 1 over 2. But here, so simple, I'll go this way. 2 times 2, that will be 4, plus 1, that will give me 5, and then I have 5 over my denominator, which is what? 2, and that will give me 5 over 2. The same thing here, 5 times 1, that is 5, plus 2, that will give me 7 over 5. And again, here, the last one, 3 times 1, 3, plus 1, that will give me 4 over 3. And you can see we change from here to this, and from this now to this in this side. So you can always change from proper fraction to improper fraction, and vice versa. That is, you can also change from improper fraction to mixed fraction. Let me say that again, please. You can always change from improper fraction to mixed fraction, and you can always change from what? Mixed fraction to improper fraction. This knowledge is very important, and it will come handy in solving questions relating to fractions. Now, the next thing I want to mention is that under fraction, we are going to be looking at addition of fractions, subtraction of fractions, multiplication of fractions, and division of fractions. Of course, aside these 4 operators that we are going to be using, the terms that they can actually use in asking you questions under fractions will also be emphasized, like when they say simplify this, take this to the smallest term, and so on and so forth. So we'll be stopping here under fraction in today's class, and then we'll proceed in the next class to dive properly into the knowledge of fraction using all these operators that we have on the board. My name is Mr. Legend. I implore you to please go through this class, share it with people around you, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification button so that anytime I drop a new video, you can be informed. Thank you very much for today's class. Have a lovely time. Bye for now.